Hello, hello, hello. Happy Friday, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. And welcome to today's live. I'm the Urban Seer, your guide to love, destiny, and manifesting the life you desire. I hope this space brings you some peace, brings you some guidance and answers to the questions that you bring today. Please be open to spirit. Take a deep breath to center yourself and remain open to the answers. Quick reminder to receive a reading, to be considered for a reading, please submit your name, like number and your question. Please provide context and detail with regards to your question, as I am an energy reader. So this allows me to connect to your energy and anyone in your situation. So I don't read on yes, no questions, timelines, or general readings. Don't cover pregnancy, health, or legal matters as well. Hey to everyone in the chat. Hey Sruthi, hey Venny, Namira, Kristen. Lovely to see you all. Thanks for joining us. Myra, Sophia. Country I saw earlier as well, who was passing by just to drop a like. Love and light to you. And as just a reminder as well of the quick switch up with the new format, I'm reading who I'm drawn to, so submitting a question doesn't guarantee a reading. Please hang around if you don't receive a reading today. Some messages here may still be for you. Yeah, so I'll be reading who I'm drawn to. So let's get into it. I don't know if Nat or Samreen, I'm not sure if I've seen them. Just give me a shout out if you are here. Nat, Samreen. I know there can be a bit of a delay in the chat. They may not be here yet. Hey Anne. Let's start off with Sruthi, because I know that you're here, my love. So I'm going to paste them in the chat this time. See how that goes. The questions, that is. So just bear with me. I'm still getting used to this new format myself. There we go. So this is Sruthi's question. Okay, let's get into it. So today as well, I'm using the Guardian of the Night Tarot deck. So Sruthi asks, I've made a list of things I want to get done this year and have been taking slow action. My goals are a career change, writing my novels, and getting a driver's license. Awesome. Which I'm scared to do, so yeah, that is scary. Can you check if my energy is aligned with the goals and if there is any obstacles in my energy field? You're very welcome. Also say thank you for all the previous readings. Very welcome. So is your energy aligned with these goals? First half of the question. Yes, in a word. And interestingly as well, Knight of Pentacles, just how you described this, okay? I want to get this, where was the line that you said? I want to get things done this year and I've been taking slow action. And that's very much the energy of the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles moves slowly but steadily towards their goals. And this is you receiving that offer, that goal. You know, you're closer than you think, I feel like, as well. But the Knight of Pentacles is earth energy, and it's very genuine, yeah? So it's the steps that you are making, which is maybe why you are moving slowly, are very purposeful. They're not erratic, they're not rushing, they're very cautious but very considered. And that feels just the right energy to be moving forward with. You know, it's like that, if you know the story of the tortoise and the hare, how the hare starts off incredibly fast, and of course the tortoise would seem like it's going to lose, but actually because the tortoise makes the wise move and the right decisions, and is carefully moving carefully and consistently moving forward, that's actually what wins out in the day. So maybe people around you might seem like they're ahead of you, might feel like they're ahead of you, but there's just a lot of drama, there's a lot of bluster, there's a lot of rushing around. That doesn't mean that there's a real action being taken, but for you, Shruti, real moves are being made, but you're doing it quietly and you're doing it with intention. So this feels very validating to me. Yes, me too. Love that story. And let's have a look though if there are any obstacles in your energy field, okay? Is there anything that we can focus on, switch up, that we maybe need to tweak? So don't feel pressure to move fast. Don't feel pressure to rush. Shruti, this calm, steady energy is the right place to lead with. Is there any obstacles? Interestingly, the Lovers card, Major Arcana. A few things here. So the Lovers card is about staying aligned and deeply connected with your goals, I think, and maybe continuously kind of checking in on that what you're pursuing does align with your soul, does align with your spirit. But also I think this could be quite literal in the sense that a love connection could come through, could be in your energy field, and could almost, ultimately in a good way, depending on how it's handled, don't let it derail you. This lover's energy could come in and almost like throw a spanner in the works, you know, that you could sort of, amidst all this kind of honorable and cautious energy, the Knight of Pentacles, you may find yourself in this deep love connection. And this can really kind of maybe change your goals, change your perspective, or it might, obviously it's a whole extra element that comes into play for you to consider and for you to manage. So to hold on to this Knight of Pentacles energy, if this comes through to you, okay, this love connection really, which I feel like is the dominant message here. And you know, love connections, because there's so much excitement, intense feelings, it does totally change the situation, doesn't it, of how things might unfold. So that's something to be aware of this year. Hopefully I meet my soulmate this year. Absolutely. So enjoy that, be open to it. This is a soulmate connection, but don't throw in the towel on your Knight of Pentacles, yeah? Stick to your goals, keep working towards that. But this says, you know, here's something completely off-piste, completely aside from all this energy and very different, that will get thrown in the mix for you, Shruti. So that's quite exciting, isn't it? Right, I hope that resonates, Shruti. Namira, my love, are you here? There's Namira's question. Shruti says, okay, I will stay focused on my goals, yeah, even if the love connections comes through. Thank you, Seer. Your reading always resonates, very exciting. Thank you, Shruti. Okay, Namira, let's get into this. So Namira says, hi, Seer. I wrote the landlord detailed about the neighbour. Awesome. And timeline to ask Corinne to take action about their noise. Also contacted local authorities. Amazing. And they advised to file a complaint, yes, against the neighbour, so they can pick this up. Awesome. Energy, please, around this situation. Also, the landlord advised me not to talk with her because of the stress. Yes, I think that sounds like good advice. I hope solution will come. Let's have a look at the energy. So, you've done everything that you can, Namira. Now, like the landlord says, withdraw interaction from the neighbour. It will just add to your stress. But let's have a look at with all these things taken into consideration, let's have a look at the energy. Oh, I'm so glad that this came through for you, Namira. Look at this. Justice. Justice for you. Could not be clearer, could not be more positive. Major Arcana, the scales of justice are balanced. And what always in this deck, the energy of this card, we look to this, it's a bat here in this image. And to me, this bat is surrendering, has, you know, the bit, and this is the energy I feel like you need to try to embody now, is that you've done the steps and you will continue to do the practical steps that's required. And then it's like surrendering the situation to God, to the universe, to allow the universe to respond. Yes, because often we're, particularly in stressful situations, I do this myself a lot, where it's like you'll tend to rush towards a situation or think about it, overthink about it. It's always on your mind and sort of push, wait for an answer. And we need to actually try and, once we've done our part, kept our side of the street clean, as I like to say, done our part, it's a co-collaboration. So we need to actually leave space for the universe to respond and to answer and to communicate back to us. And I feel like this is the Justice, Namira, card saying this will come through. And this is a breakthrough moment, I think, in this reading, because in the past readings we haven't had such a clear message and such a shift in the energies, yeah, that there will be a fair and just outcome for you. So maybe now that has shifted, maybe getting you've already put some distance from your emotions. Well done. But you know, maybe that the fact that the authorities are involved now, that will shift things, you know. Maybe the landlord is more engaged. Something in the energy field has shifted. So I want to leave it there because I feel like that this card is pure with its energy and with its message. I don't want to complicate it, and I want to just let that sit and ruminate, and we can take that. This is all that the universe needs to let us know. It's such a clear message. So I hope that resonates, Namira. Okay, so I don't think that Nat and Samreen are here. Eco7, my love, are you here? I'm just going to give you a name shout out, checking that you're here, and then post your question. If you can just give me a thumbs up, give me an emoji, let me know that you're here. Yeah, over to the landlord and to the universe now for that. But hold that justice card, that image in your mind, Namira. So Eco7, Kristen Conler, are you here, my love? My Style, hey My Style. I'll read for My Style now. Hey Sophia. I'll read for you after My Style. Just getting My Style's question up here. Hey Kristen. There we go. Okay, so My Style asks, is there anything in my energy field blocking me from attracting lifelong connections in friendship, or do I already have one but I haven't recognized it yet? Interesting, My Style. My friend circle is small and after a while I get kicked out. Let's have a look, My Style. Two of Swords. Two of Swords is about, it's about decision making. What comes to mind, or what the message that comes through with this, so the Two of Swords, Swords is about being, Swords energy is all about being committed to our truth. It's about communication. It's about advocating for ourselves. It's about being decisive, and sometimes it's about cutting out, cutting off people, situations that don't serve us. So I'll pull another card to get more information in a bit, but it feels like that maybe you can see signs of, with friendship, let me know if this resonates, Two of Swords, okay, about if someone isn't right for you, or maybe signs that they're not a particularly good friend, but you still kind of stay in contact with them, or keep them in your life, maybe even though that you know that they don't align with you. There's something about this card about needing to make a decision, maybe to walk away from people and places that don't serve you and don't align with you, and taking some control back of the situation, because maybe you want a deep friendship so much, which is something beautiful to want and to desire and to have that to offer to someone. And it's about kind of valuing that and preserving what you have to offer, and bringing your decision and your choice and your power back into the situation, so you're not just kind of, the power lies with the other person, in the sense of how they treat you, and if they want to be friends with you, and if they're right for you. I really want some true friends, says my style. Yeah, I feel it, but I keep them in my life. So that, and I feel like, you know, if we try to move into a more abundant mindset, that it's much like a love relationship, you know. Friendships can be so deep and important and give us so much that it can be as powerful and it can be as painful when we are, say, betrayed by a friend as it is a partner, you know, a romantic partner. But the same law applies in the sense that we need to hold space for a true friendship, and it's better to not have negative friendships in our life, really, that kind of muddy the water, that make us feel bad about ourselves, that drain our energy. And so it's better to release those friends, I think, my style, and hold space for that true friendship that you are holding out for. Much like if you were with a partner who wasn't treating you right, it's better to be alone and hold out for someone that truly loves you, yeah? So there's maybe some tough decisions here. Two of Swords is about decisions. So some tough decisions to make around friendships and who you choose to have in your life, my style. Let's have a look about a true friendship coming in, if there's anyone out there, what the future holds, because you are in a difficult position now. You've maybe got friendships in your life that you're holding on to, that you want to make work, but maybe it's come to that time when it's time to release them. Oh, look at this. And then there is a real friendship that is on the horizon with this Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is a true love offering in many, you know, many respects. An Ace of Cups, look at this, it's emotionally fulfilling and it has potential. And I feel like this bird here is this new person. There is a gentleness, there is a softness. I feel like this person that you would be able to be vulnerable with them, which is the kind of antithesis of this energy, which feels sharp, which feels heavy, which feels like we can get hurt, we can get cut by those swords. This is beautiful and soft. That's what friendships is all about, isn't it, really? It's being able to share the more vulnerable parts of ourselves. Often, you know, and if it's not safe, then, you know, that's a red flag. And this is an opportunity coming towards you, my style. And it's a beautiful offering. So keep that channel open, do some culling, yeah, of some friendships that you don't need in your life, and live an abundant energy and mindset and trust that this Ace of Cups is coming towards you. I don't know if there's ways, if you can meet people easily, like through, I don't know if you're studying or working, or if there's like friendship apps now, like here in the UK that we have, like the Bumble friendship app, which is where if you're actually looking for new friends, much like a dating app, but it's a friendship app, which I think is a really interesting idea. Could be worth exploring, just so that you can be proactive about finding new friends and ways to connect with new people. I don't know if you have that where you are. Yes, my style. I really hope that you find that connection. It says that connection is coming towards you, so I'm really glad that card came through. Okay. Hey, Samreen. Sophia, my love, this is for you. Is this, so Sophia, is A, just confirm, is A an ex, a situationship? wasn't it? Well, that's a shame that you don't have that here. Maybe look to do some social events, like some groups, some courses, you know, like some hobbies, things like that. Maybe just to expand your friend, you know, with the intention of finding that kind of friendship. A friend, but chemistry. Okay, awesome. Thanks for confirming, Sophia. So A is away on his work trip for a few months. We had a small communication for his birthday. Will he want to explore a romantic connection with me when he returns? Let's have a look. He knows in the past I had feelings, okay. I'm going to focus on their energy and their feelings towards you. Oh, interesting. There is an energy here between you for sure. So just as you said actually, Sophia, there, chemistry. This is you two, yeah? And whenever a 2 comes through, whatever the suit, and whenever it's in a love reading, I always, you know, that 2 is confirmation to me that this is some kind of union of sorts, okay? And it's interesting, this 2 of Pentacles, it always says to me that it feels like a bit of a whirlwind or a tailspin, or if you think here, because it's dolphins, it's like the ocean, a whirlpool, where there is almost a charged energy. It's an energy where when we see the 2 of Pentacles, it moves fast, there's a busyness. And it's an energy where we need to stay centered, stay grounded in order to manage it. It's almost like that it's building. If you think of like of a tightening, you know, a coiled spring in a way. So I feel like this is encouraging. It's confirming that this is a mutual back and forth of charged energy. And guidance from spirit for you, Sophia, is to stay centered, to stay grounded in order to really manage this energy between you. Like hold on to your hat, you know, don't get lost in it, don't get carried away, don't get caught up in it. So they feel it too. What's the likely action? Will they act on this? Okay. Have they, on another note as well, I know that you said that they've been away from work, so it can be that they maybe as an obstacle or a block, or what slowed this connection is that they've been literally very busy with work as well. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't with that. Okay, so slow. Okay, so slow. Oh, hey, Nat. I'm glad that you made it. Yes, we've missed you. So what's maybe work is something that is a distraction that is pulling them away from this as well. Likely action, please, Spirit. Oh, 3 of Pentacles, they want, look at this, we go from the 2, we progress to the 3. So this is clear progression. Pentacles, I mean, it is earth energy, so it is slow. I don't know why it's so slow. That can be, you know, probably another reading for you. Maybe we could focus on Sophia. But this says Three of Pentacles is about that they have the same goal as you. Again, it's kind of more confirmation that they want to work this out with you. They want to team. Three of Pentacles is about working together, collaborating, teamwork. We're in this together. We want to get there. But again, Pentacles is earth energy, so it's still slow. It's still moving steadily in the right direction. Of course, if this is too slow for you, Sophia, you know, you don't need to hang around for this person. There's nothing binding you to them. Maybe keep your options open with other connections. I always say don't put all your eggs in one basket until, you know, this situation is where you want it to be, you know, until you've got some more guarantees. So, you know, keep your options open. But both these cards really are positive, are saying they're in this. They're moving, they have the same goal as you, to be together, to deepen this connection. Maybe work is the obstacle. That's all that I would say, because there's so much earth energy here, which is about money, work, that kind of stuff. It could be just as simple as that. There's nothing particularly, like there's no hidden secret block or like emotional resistance. It's probably just more practical. But again, you know, like they need to make time for this. They need to move this forward and make this happen at some point, you know. But they do want this from these cards, okay? Sophia says, I think he's afraid too, but they're in work focus. Yeah, we both came out of long-term relationships, been 2 years. Okay. So Sophia, yeah, like look elsewhere at other connections, I would say, just to kind of maybe even take the pressure off this as well. Maybe you're already doing that. Don't put all your focus on this, but it is some confirmation that they have feelings for you, want this to happen. Okay, Kristen, my love, are you here? Kristen Conler. Sure thing, Astrid. I don't do Astrid though. I don't do yes, no questions, and just go back to, so all the information of how just the changes is that I'm reading for who I'm drawn to. So submit your question to be considered. But as the form says, please provide context, detail, with regards to your question. You know, if you're talking about a person, what's the history? Who are they to you? Is this a love connection? Is it a colleague? Is it a situationship? This kind of stuff, yeah. It allows me to connect with your energy, your situation. Context, you know, it basically allows you to receive a much more meaningful reading. And I don't do yes, no questions, general or timelines. So just bear that in mind. Thanks, Astrid. So I hope that makes sense. More details on the community tab, or if you just go to the click of the link, take you to the form. The form explains the sort of the new format. But let's get into this. Kristen, this is for you, my love. So Kristen says, hi Seer, yesterday I spoke to S. I couldn't hold it in anymore. I've told him that we will no longer see each other. There are complications on his side, which I told him I can work through and understand, but somehow he says that I deserve better. I feel sad. What will happen next? I'm sorry, Kristen, that seems tough. He's kind of giving you mixed messages there, isn't he? Let's have a look at his energy and what will happen next. Oh. The connection is still active, it's still present, and it's somewhat of, much like I spoke about this card before, it's somewhat of a whirlpool energy wise. Yeah, it feels kind of messy. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, there's a lot going on emotionally, on both sides. Yeah, we're mirroring each other. We have to stay centered, we have to stay grounded in order to navigate this, okay? But the connection is very present still. So even though if you're in minimal contact, you know, and it's messy and it's emotions still are running high. And I always think this is, you know, kind of a bit of a tailspin energy. They may be, and maybe you are, kind of distracting yourself, staying busy, to not think about this. Try to do some meditation, do some yoga, do something to shift this kind of energy that you've been left with. Yeah. Almost like an open-ended, no answers to your question, everything's up in the air, but emotions are still really running high. We need to get centered, we need to get grounded, to get back to ourselves. How, you know, do that however, what works best for you, Kristen. Yoga, breathing, meditation, something like that. But can you tell the Spirit any more about, I feel like this is where we're at now, what comes next? Ooh. The Hanged Man, we're going to be stuck here for a while, Kristen. There's nothing more else that you can do. The Hanged Man it's an uncomfortable position. So we need to breathe through this. We need to kind of surrender to being the Hanged Man position. A perspective shift, if anything. That's what the Hanged Man says. It says there's nothing else more to do kind of practically in this situation. We can have some shifts of perspective, which I think maybe is about trying to gain some more control through getting grounded, through tapping into your higher self, kind of rising above the situation as best that you can, and some kind of acceptance that this is where things are going to be for a while. Because I feel like there's confusion on their side, there's complication on their side. So they've left you really in this Hanged Man position. One more, please, Spirit. Thanks, Astrid. And Samreen, yes, I've got your question. There's no list anymore. Look at the form for the new guidelines if you want to. Oh, but look, there is emotional fulfillment further down the line, a complete switch up. How nice. This is hopeful because these are both tricky energies. Yeah, it's all about holding your water, really. It's all about keeping it together, breathing through this kind of difficult situation, keeping it together, yeah? Try not to become reactive, try not to like just get lost in the emotion. If we can do that, then we are actually moving towards this 10 of Cups, which is a beautiful, you know, the 10 is like the ultimate kind of getting what you want. It's about cups, as we know, or about love, romance, about our heart's desires. All these pairs, you know, a bit like reminds me a bit of the Noah's Ark, you know, like the animals went in 2 by 2. But they're all in their union, they're all sort of in their partnerships, and this is 10 of Cups, emotional fulfillment. So this is very hopeful, and this is further down the track, I feel like, Kristen. So hold on to that, that this is where we're going, this is where we're going to land. This is a bumpy road. It has been bumpy. There's nothing more that you can do right now, Kristen. Breathe through this and hang on to this idea, that this visual even, that the 10 of Cups, emotional fulfillment, is on its way to you. It will shift. Okay, I'll leave it there. Okay, I don't think Eco 7 is here. Nat Nat, are you still here? So I'll read for Nat Nat, then Samreen, and then Astrid, just so we know where we're at. You're welcome, Kristen, as always. I'm hoping Nat Nat's here still. Awesome. You're welcome, Astrid. Okay. Nat Nat asks, what should I be aware of the person coming in love? So the next person coming to you in love, what do you need to be aware of? Major Arcana. So their energy, it's interesting, the Hierophant is quite like a Virgoan energy, like it's a particular, it's someone who has quite a traditional outlook, quite a traditional approach to relationships. They may as well, in their field of work, be a leader of some sort, a teacher, a mentor, someone who has a lot of knowledge, maybe in one particular field, and has, you know, students here, people, a team that they lead. But with regards to their kind of approach in love, the Hierophant, it can be a card of marriage. And it's, like I say, a traditional approach. So they follow the kind of rules step by step. And would be probably take things slowly, would maybe be quite reserved in their nature and in their energy. And if they were to pursue you, it would be almost kind of old-fashioned, which can be refreshing, you know, nice. Like we need a little bit more of that. They're not someone who would enter into something lightly. Tell me more, Spirit. Oh, but beneath that, which is nice, because that can feel, that is nice, but it can feel a little bit restrictive. But then we have this King of Cups who is emotionally is a deep feeler beneath that kind of front. So someone who will present almost like kind of professional, you know, like that they take that seriously, their work seriously, and sort of politeness, manners, rules, all that kind of stuff seriously. But behind that is a depth of emotion, which is nice. The King of Cups is someone who is emotionally intelligent. And wow, you know, that's what we're looking for in a partner. I think, you know, someone, if we're like that, which Nat, I think you are like that, someone who thinks and feels deeply. And they get that, they understand that. And the King of Cups is someone who is able to feel things deeply but not be overwhelmed by them. I like that they're a king as well. So this feels like this person feels very grown up. They've got their worldly life together, but also they've kind of been through some stuff. Yeah, they've probably had relationships where they've lived and they've learned, or in life. Yeah, the King of Cups is someone that knows themselves, but there is a depth there which maybe take time for you to get to know. That initially they'll present like this, but then you'll find this other side where there's kind of a real sensitivity there and a real depth, and they actually feel very deeply about things. So very clear message there. You may recognize this person in your energy field, Nat, or it may be someone new. The first signs you'll see is this though, you know, when they come, when you recognize them in their life, you'll notice that kind of characteristics about them first, and then this will come later. Sounds like someone that would be good for a Virgo soul. Yeah, someone who is very respectful, which us Virgos love. Okay, Samreen, and then like I say, we've got Astrid after Samreen. So Samreen, I'm just going to post your question. Is it easier me posting the questions, or is it easier you? I don't know if you've got them to hand. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do this. If you've got your questions to hand, then maybe that's easier. Let me know. Samreen, just give me a shout out that you're here. Just a reminder for lots of the questions that have been submitted, I don't do yes no questions. So if you just want to go back and have a look at the form to see the guidelines, just to be considered. No, Anne, don't worry, you didn't miss your turn. Hey, Samreen. So Astrid, I'll need to post some of your question. Because that's how I operate. So I'll read the questions out just so everyone knows who we're reading for. Let me know if you're happy for me to do that. If not, let me know. Are you happy for me to read out your question, Astrid? Let me know if you're not, obviously. Right. So I'm going to read for Samreen first, and then I'll read for you after, Astrid. Okay, so Samreen asks, I'm 29 and planning to study abroad. I remember you mentioning this, Samreen, which means a complete career change and starting life from scratch. Australia or New Zealand, was that right, Samreen? I'm feeling... no problem, Astrid. I'm 29 and plan to study abroad, says Samreen, which means a complete career change and starting life from scratch. I'm feeling uncertain about living alone, managing finances and rebuilding my life. Yeah. Big change, yeah. What guidance do the cards have for me about this transition and its long-term impact? Okay, so guidance about the transition first, and then the long-term impact, where you'll find yourself, okay? So guidance about the transition, long-term impact. Page of Pentacles, just do all the prep. Just be really, really thorough. So don't wing anything, Samreen, okay? Page of Pentacles is about, look, this is like an octopus, okay? It's like having all your feelers out, and it's about gathering all the information. So speak to people who have done this. Check everything sort of practically, what you need to do to get things lined up. Educate yourself as much as you can on a change like this. Page of Pentacles is about gathering information. It's about not rushing this situation as well. So take your time, step by step. Move too slow rather than too fast if necessary, you know, or move at exactly the right pace. But you know what I'm trying to say? Don't rush this. And the page is about when we're still gathering information. It's that pause before what comes after the page is the night, yeah? When we begin to really, like, things really begin to happen. The changes really begin to move. But right now, so yeah, I just feel like intensely that it's about, you know, information is power, knowledge is power. So educate yourself and check every box, you know, just make sure that we're doing this all, we don't miss anything, because it's such a big move. And you need to make it as straightforward and easy for yourself as possible, and make sure that this is something that you definitely want to do. The university fees too much. I wanted to break into AI, but fees is too much for that course. Okay, so that's kind of a separate issue. Right now, well, let's just focus on, so if that's like that path isn't possible, so let's look at, you know, other opportunities, other information. Pentacles is about money and practical issues. So do we need to, realistically, do we need more money to do this? Can we save the money? Do we need to, you know, how do we make this happen on a practical level then? Is it possible? Where will it take us when we make this transition? Where would we land? Interesting. Five of Pentacles is more like about money and finances. So maybe this is the big issue, the biggest challenge in this situation. Five of Pentacles is about protecting what we've got, okay? So it can be about savings as well. It can be about being mindful not to slip into a lack mindset if that's like, you know, if you've had disappointments around this situation, maybe it feels impossible. This is Spirit maybe saying not to, if you really, really want this, then continue to pursue this and you will find a way. There may be disappointments and setbacks along the way, but can you see how this bird, this is fiercely protecting these chrysalis? There's 5 chrysalis here, and chrysalis is about transformation. Yeah, the butterfly that has to fight its way out. And this bird here is fiercely protecting what they have and this dream that you want, and building on the finances, maybe manifestation as well, you know, for the money to come through, to stay or shift into an abundant mindset about this and not sink into lack, that this isn't possible. There's a lot to overcome sort of practically, it feels like. And I feel like there's more to learn. More information coming through, maybe more things challenges to overcome, but not to give up. This completely resonates, Samreen. I have the money, okay, but I will be living hand to mouth after paying fees, okay. So that's the kind of fight on your hands, isn't it? That this kind of hand to mouth after paying fees. It won't be easy. I suppose the cards aren't lying to you here. They're being quite brutally honest. They're saying, you know, information is power. It will be a challenge, but we can get there. But it is a huge shift. It is a huge transformation. It won't be easy. Ah, but look at the bottom there, just before I end this reading. There's this caterpillar that has come out here. So there is something that has already emerged. So things are moving, things are progressing, but it won't necessarily be straightforward, Samreen. Okay, I'll leave that there. Keep us posted as always, Samreen, yeah? Okay, Astrid. Or Astronoid. I won't paste all your question. Yeah, 5 of Pentacles is the future energy, Samreen. So, still a bit tricky, but like defending your goal, your ambition in this, overcoming setbacks, staying in an abundant mindset. Challenges might try and push you into like a lack mindset. Okay, so I'll read Astrid's question. But I've just, because it's quite long, so I've just posted some of it. Thank you, Nat. I'm glad that you liked your reading. So, Astrid says, I flew to Los Angeles for a DJ, and at the show I met someone. I blacked out for most of the night, but I do remember him and our interaction. I flew back to Miami the next day, and that's when I noticed that he had messaged me, nice, to go to an after party. We'd been talking ever since. He expressed his feelings towards me, and he remembers our entire time together. We've been honest with each other in all aspects, and we'll meet again in March at a music festival. Awesome. Because of my past experiences and massive overthinking, and also my intuition, I keep going back and forth on everything. Sure thing. I would like to know about this person and the situation currently. Okay, let's see if we can bring you some peace, Astrid, some inner peace. Maybe worth meditating on this to try and slow down and stop the overthinking if you don't already do that. But let's have a look at how your person is feeling about this situation. Ooh, nice. So 3 of Wands is all about planning for the future. Wands is fire energy. So there is passion here. There is a strong magnetic pull here. So you may have, you feel that too. Yeah, this is you two, both here. I feel like you're maybe the little bit more one who's has a bit more anxiety, a bit more uncertainty about it. But they're feeling good about this. They're feeling happy. I think because you've got maybe that future plan as well in March. So it's like kind of thinking ahead, thinking of the future. That's what 3 of Wands is about. It's a very expansive energy. If you can see a lot of blossoms here, a lot of magic in the picture. And it's really about thinking them having you in their future plans, yeah? They're looking to the future, thinking, oh, this could happen. Maybe if I did this and we could meet here. It's that kind of energy where it's like they're thinking of the future and you're in their future plans. And because of this fire energy, there's that passion, there's that excitement, all of that good stuff, but also quite nerve-wracking stuff, I guess, that comes with a new connection. But this basically is the message that they are thinking of you and they are thinking of future plans that include you. Let's pull one more though, because I'm nosy and I always like to get the full picture, make sure we're not missing anything. But this is, yeah, really nice, really positive energy. There's so much lightness and brightness in this card, isn't there? Anything else, Spirit? Ooh, and then we have a major arcana, Judgment. This is, we see here a snake shedding its skin. And I feel like it's interesting. What first came through was, okay, we're in the Chinese New Year. We're at the very end of the year of the snake. It's Feb 17th that it shifts into the year of the horse. It's going to be the year of the fire horse, okay, which is when we see a lot of intense movement and change. The year 2026 of the fire horse is going to be fast moving, intense, big moves will be made. It's a very bold year. 2025 was the snake, and it's about flexibility, it's about transformation. And this snake is still shedding its skin, and we're still there. So in this time, what I would say is to set yourself up for this connection and for what is to come, and that things could move fast beyond Feb 17th, which would kind of tie in with from that March date or when things will begin to actually pick up. Try to work on this overthinking and this anxiety. Try to find things that work for you that can center you, that can ground you. There are a few things that maybe need to be let go of still. Maybe relationships, connections with other people that no longer serve you. Maybe things, this goes for everyone, yeah, about where we're at in the timeline of things. This is still a time for kind of letting things go, for shedding that old skin of people, places, things that no longer align with us, so that we can renew and appear, you know, shiny, brand new, golden, like a shiny penny, ready for this somewhat crazy fire horse year ahead. So try to focus on releasing things, mindsets, people, places, things that no longer serve you, so that we can be ready for this beautiful Three of Wands fire energy aligning with the fire horse energy as well. So that's Feb 17th that the official new year is. We met on the 20th of December. Okay, so it's still new. So I hope that resonated, Astrid. Keep us posted. Let us know how this connection progresses. Size, yeah. It's a drag having to shed that skin sometimes, but it's necessary. You're both fire signs. Ah, awesome. What are you? Let us know. Okay. So, Jazz, my love, are you still here? Jazz? You're welcome, Astrid. Thank you for being here. Thanks for posting your question. So I'll just read for two more people now. So we have Jazz and then Anshaman. If you're still here, I'll read for you. Just going to check that Jazz is here. Catches Astrid Mondays and Fridays. I saw Jazz earlier. Hopefully Jazz is still here. Hey Anshaman, I'm just waiting for Jazz to give me a shout that she's here. They're here. Maybe not. Maybe they've gone. I'll post Anshaman's question as well. Anshaman, I'll read for you, and then if Jazz lets us know that they're here, then I'll read for them after. Oh, hi Anne. Sorry, I'll read for you as well, Anne. No problem, Astrid. Make sure you've got your notifications on. Obviously, just join us if you can. Thanks, Anne, for letting me know that you're still here. I'll circle back. Times, I confirmed the times, Astrid, the day before. So like on the Sunday and on the Thursday, community post, the community tab, I'll always update the schedule. But it's generally around, well, on Mondays it's always 2:30 GMT. Fridays vary. Okay, Anshaman, this is for you, my love. Anshaman asks, what is coming in mine and Yoshita's connection? Currently in contact, but I feel weird. Okay. What feels weird, Anshaman? Things don't feel right? Does something feel off? Let's see what's going on with this connection. Eight of Pentacles. So this is, Eight of Pentacles is like putting in effort, but we are producing something of value here. So I feel like what you're putting in, like if you can put in the work, if you can build on this connection, can you see here this busy bee who is working on their honey, what do we call this? Like, is it honeycomb? They're filling this in, yeah, producing something of great value, creating something really quite beautiful, which does take work, which does take consistency, which does take effort. We've had quite a lot of pentacles today where it feels like the collective energy is that there's this kind of slow and steady energy which we need to bring to the situation that we're dealing with in order to see the results that we want. In order to taste the sweet honey, there's a lot of work involved behind that, okay? So maybe things are moving a bit slower than you might think. Maybe things feel like you're not seeing the results yet of what you're putting in, but I feel like Spirit is coming to reassure you that it will pay off, okay? So what is it that you feel, what feels weird then, Anshaman? Because you said, but I feel weird. What, I'm just interested in that aspect of it. So, because if things feel right, person is good, happy days, you know? One more, please, Spirit. Ooh, 3 of Wands. So there is a future here. Here you both are. We're making plans for the future. Just like this card came through for Astrid here. Similar messages, similar energy. It's expansive energy. There is passion here. There is magnetism here. And we can look to the future and confidently make plans together. And that this is, you're both in this picture, yeah? I think this is your energy because you have kind of a big presence and big energy. There may be slightly more reserved. But we're both like, yes, let's do this. Let's make this happen. When I think of my future, you are in it. So Spirit is signing off on this, giving you the tick, you know, giving you the green light that we can, there is a future here. Just the inner aura, Seer, you know, human instinct, and a lot of people are blah blah. Does she, do you think she's blah blah, Anshaman? It's, if you want this, Anshaman, this is two both very positive cards. So if you are into this, if you want this, you can make this work, you can make this happen. If your heart's not in it though, just because someone's a nice person, just because someone's, you know, hasn't done anything wrong, it doesn't mean that we have to be in a relationship with them, you know? So tell you what resonates with that. It sounds like maybe that you have, she talks a lot, okay, but I'm happy with her. So if you're happy, that's all good. But I would say, you know, just this has come up for other people a lot, where it's like, just because someone's a good person, just because someone's a nice person, doesn't mean that they are our person. They don't have to have done something wrong for them not to be our person. So, you know, if your heart's not in this, then it doesn't mean that you have to pursue this, you know, if that makes sense. But if you want it, it's there. If you want to make it work, if you want to make it happen, there is a future here, but that doesn't mean that you have to take it just because it's an option. Okay, I'll leave it there, Anshaman. She talks non-stop. I mean, that can get pretty draining, I'm not going to lie. As someone who, I mean, I can talk, but hi Jazz, so I called your name but you weren't here, so unfortunately I did have to move on, so do catch us on Monday if you can. And last but not least, I'm going to read for Anne. Okay, Anne, I won't post your whole question. I'll read it out. Yeah, no problem, Jess. Just catch us on Monday if you can. And just give me a shout out that you're here, and I'll read Anne's question. I'll read it out in full. I've just posted part of it. Today I saw my crush at his hospital. He is an ENT doctor, and I had booked an appointment with him due to my allergy. As soon as he saw me, he immediately recognised me and greeted me with a warm, genuine smile. Beautiful, awesome. Our conversation remained completely professional, yet there was a subtle emotional undertone that I couldn't ignore. What I strongly sensed was that he seemed a bit shy and nervous around me. There was a softness and awareness in his energy that stayed with me even after the appointment. Beautiful. I'd love to know what the cards reveal about his current energies towards me, his thoughts, emotions, and intentions. Is there something unspoken or developing beneath the surface? Awesome, let's have a look. So what will the cards please reveal about the current energies towards Anne? Current energies towards you. And then let's go to that second one. Is there something unspoken or developing beneath the surface? Oh, lovely. So this is current energies. Something to say, yeah? So Ace, which really would tie in with something unspoken, because swords are about communication. I love this card. It's so fresh. It's so pure. Can you see the kind of crispness of this card, if that resonates? These flowers that are perfectly crisp white. It's like such the kind of energy of the swords, yeah, like the swords are about truth, they're about clarity. The Ace of Swords is clarity, and I feel like that they kind of and you would maybe are ready to get clarity on this situation. Yeah, it's like this sword it needs to strike out. It's like some words need to be spoken. These feelings, this energy between you need to be spoken, need to be clarified, need to strike out and be said. So I feel like that they feel this and they have shifted closer to this energy now where they are working, they are really kind of there, about ready to say something, ready to share. Let's see what this second energy says, the unspoken. Page of Pentacles is about that gathering of information. It has been slow moving, which is also Pentacles. It's earth energy, slow, steady, which is, I feel like it's something about them. Like you say, maybe because they are shy, because they are reserved somewhere in their energy. They're not someone who is just, you know, kind of speaking out or, you know, rushing into situations or rushing into connections. You know, some people are very fiery and very kind of forthcoming, and obviously there are other people who are kind of have that more reserved, restrained energy, and I feel like they are one of these people. And maybe they've been gathering information about trying to get the lay of the land of this situation with you, making sure that, trying to get an energy read on you and making sure that their feelings are really there in a way before speaking out on them, which I respect, right? Making sure that you like someone, making sure that you've got romantic feelings for someone that is kind of serious and that are real and that are genuine before actually kind of expressing that. I feel like some people are just kind of willy-nilly with regards to, oh, this person, that person. This person is really thoughtful and considerate and is, like I say, they take their time with it before speaking on it. But nonetheless, I feel like they are at that point where they're ready to communicate. So I hope that you get another opportunity, Anne. I hope that you get this it will happen. You will. I know you're in, say, the same social circles, so there will be another opportunity that will arise. Will finally, after much waiting, after much patience, after much Page of Pentacles energy, after much thought, consideration, all of that stuff, they will finally speak on this. Anne says, we have been getting 3 aces back to back for this readings. Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. Wow, and now we have Ace of Swords. Isn't that amazing? So you've got all the aces. So ace is screaming new beginnings, fresh starts. So we are getting there, Anne. We are getting there. Maybe you can understand this about them. Maybe you know that and you can read that they are someone who just moves very slowly and very steadily. So I hope that resonates. Right, guys, I'm going to end the live there, but thank you all that submitted your questions. I hope that you enjoyed your readings. Thank you all so much for joining today. Like I say, I hope the messages you received brought you clarity, brought you peace, and some inspiration for the days ahead. Remember to always take what resonates and leave what doesn't, and trust your own inner guidance. But I'll be back on our next live on Monday as usual. Just keep an eye out for the schedule and updates in the community post. But until then, be kind to yourself, keep centering your energy and stay open to guidance from Spirit. Send you all so much love and light. Take care and I'll see you soon. You're welcome, Namira. Thank you for sticking around. And you're welcome, Anne. Love and light to everyone. Take care. See you Monday.